in leading young people full of potential. Had my dad wrapped around his finger in 10 minutes. Now at this moment, I'm ready for this man to leave my house. I'm walking by all state from Chicago, and you've not acknowledged me yet. You've been in my home for 40 minutes. And finally, he turned around and he looked at me, and he said, Walter Bond, all state from Chicago. And I kind of perked up. And he said, you're the key to turning my program around. I forgot all about the 40-minute delay. And I thought to myself, you know what? I like this guy. He and I are going to get along just great. College basketball coaches are the greatest salesmen of all time. They don't sell a product. They don't sell anything tangible. They sell hope. They sell vision. And they sell a future. If you want to be an awesome salesperson and become a rainmaker and double your sales and increase your sales on a consistent basis, learn the lesson here. He came into my home and built relationships with everyone in my house. And he spoke everyone's language. He talked to my mom about Kentucky. He knew my mom loved Kentucky. He talked to my dad about leadership. My father had been a principal on the west side of Chicago for 30 plus years. And they both talked about leading young men full of potential. And he finally turned to me, a fragile, egotistical little boy. And he found a way to speak my language. He connected with everyone in the house. And there was no question where Walter Bond, all state from Chicago, was going to college. Basketball is about fundamentals. You have to dribble the ball, you have to shoot the ball, you have to pass the ball. I don't care what level you play, you still have to execute the fundamentals. You know what I've learned? Sales and business have fundamentals. If you want to be an awesome salesperson, you must understand the fundamentals of sales. The most fundamental aspect of sales is being a great relationship builder. Sure, you should have product knowledge. But please understand this. If you want to increase your sales, get as much information as you can get on building relationships fast. I went to the University of Minnesota. I showed up on campus the first day. I met my first teammate, and it went something like this. Please don't cross that line into arrogance, because here's why. I met my first teammate. And I said, what's up, man? My name is Walt Bond, all state from Chicago. What's your name, man? And he stood up. And he said this. What's your name again? My name is Walt Bond, all state from Chicago. What's your name? Well, my name is Willie Burton. All American. From Detroit, Michigan. Now, I never had a stuttering problem in my life. But when he said All-American, Walt Bond, all state from Chicago began to stutter. I said, is All-American like a small town in Michigan or something? Oh, you mean America? You're an All-American? Oh, man, my fault, man. Sorry, man, I got the wrong room. I went back to my dorm room, and I began to reason with myself. You guys ever do that? You guys ever reason with yourself and talk to yourself? I mean, I think it's very healthy to talk to yourself. Not like those people downtown that we see talking to themselves. But like really talk to yourself. Be careful when you talk to yourself, because that conversation is very dangerous. I went back to my dorm room, and this was my conversation with myself. Wow, Willie Burton is an All-American. He's a sophomore. I'm a freshman. This team has lost 26 games in a row. And Coach Haskins said that I'm the key to turning this program around. So, I figured it out. He might be an All-American, but you know what? He must not be that good. I mean, he was on the team last year, and they lost 26 games in a row. So the next day in practice, I learned it in Chicago, if I dunk on somebody, now I'm the star of the team. So I found the toughest guy on the team, and I figured if I dunk on him, now I'm the star of the team, just like I was in high school. So I found him. His name was Richard Coffey. Richard Coffey had been in the military for 4 years before he ever stepped foot on a college campus. Richard Coffey used to be a member of the 82nd Airborne, an exclusive paratrooping unit out of Fort Bragg, North Carolina. Richard Coffey was 6'6", about 235 pounds. And I promise he had muscles in his fingers. I mean, this guy had muscles in his face. When he smiled, you could see muscles in his gums. But I figured I'm Walt Bond, all-state from Chicago, and this is the toughest guy on the team, and once I dunk on him, I'll be the starter team just like in high school. So the first time I got a chance, I grabbed the basketball, and I went in to dunk the ball. Now, in high school, I was in the class all by myself. So I would decide what dunk I would do in midair. And right before I got to the rim, I saw a UFO. And it's headed straight toward me. Bam, splat, boom. Down I go. And I hopped to my feet. And I said, managers, wipe the floor. There's a wet spot, I must have slipped. See, when you're arrogant, you can't take responsibilities for your weaknesses. When you're arrogant, you can't give anyone else credit. When you're arrogant, it is never your fault. Managers, wipe the floor. There's a wet spot, I must have slipped. As the managers wipe the floor, they say, hey, Walt Bond, all-state from Chicago. Guess what? The floor is dry. Huh? Oh, yeah. Oh, I know what happened. See, I slipped on the wet spot, and then when I rolled over 7 times, I must have wiped up the wet spot with my uniform. Yeah, that's it. Because I Walt Bond, all-state from Chicago. Nobody's ever knocked me down. The next time I got a chance, I grabbed the basketball again. I went in with everything I had.